Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and just practice some absolute value with PEMDAS. And where does absolute value fit into PEMDAS? Because the absolute value is not the A is addition. So where does absolute value fall in with PEMDAS? And the answer is it falls in right here with the P. The absolute value, parentheses, and brackets all fall in with the P in parentheses. And the reason for that is because the P stands for anything that is like trapping a number. And so absolute value falls in that case because you can have operations inside parentheses and it's trapping it just like how parentheses do. The only difference is absolute value makes whatever the answer is inside a positive one. Okay? Now, remember when you're doing PEMDAS, we always want to work our way from the left to the right, but still in this specific order, okay? So if we were to have something like the absolute value of 4 plus 2 minus parentheses negative 6 add negative 2, we would go ahead and solve this absolute value problem first, not the parentheses problem first, because absolute value acts as a parenthesis with the P, and it's the furthest to the left. So we would do this absolute value first. We do 4 plus 2, which gives me 6. And then the absolute value of 6 is still 6. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over here to this set of parentheses, because that's what we're going to do next according to PEMDAS. And within the set of parentheses, we got a lovely little winky face here. So we're going to get rid of that winky face. So then we have 6 minus 2, because a winky face is subtracting that plus a negative. So then we have negative 6 subtract negative 2 within parentheses. Negative 6 subtract negative 2 that gives me negative 8. And so we're going to go ahead and bring down that negative 8. We still got that subtracting sign in the middle. And here we are. Now, if we look very closely, we can see that we have a squinty face right here. And the squinty face goes away, becomes addition. So then we got 6 plus 8, which gives me 14. Okay? Whenever you get a negative number, I would always write the negative number in parentheses because it will help you find and see those winky faces and squinty faces. We're going to do a couple more examples with some absolute value, and then you're going to go ahead and try some on your own. Alrighty. So what if we did a problem that is 3 plus negative 4, and then we're going to take the absolute value of that, subtract the absolute value of negative 6 minus 4 times negative 2. And then, watch this, we're going to put this whole thing in absolute value. Okay? So again, PEMDAS, we're going to go ahead and start with the one that's furthest most to the left. So we're going to start with this set of absolute value right here. We have a winky face right here. Winky face goes away and becomes a subtracting sign. So then we have the absolute value of 3 minus 4. 3 minus 4, because we're going, that second number is bigger, we're going to have a negative answer. And 3 is 1 space away from 4, so we got negative 1. Take the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. Okay, now we've still got these big absolute value signs on the end that we don't want to forget about. Bring down the subtract sign. Now let's go ahead and solve this second set of absolute value we've got over here. Within the absolute value, we want to follow PEMDAS. So we're going to do the multiplication part first, which is right here. So we got negative 4 times negative 2. And that is going to give us positive 8. And then we got negative 6 right here. So then we have negative 6 plus 8, which gives me positive 2. and then we take the absolute value of positive 2, and that gives me 2. So now we have 1 subtract 2. Again, still remember these blue absolute value signs on the outside. 1 subtract 2 is -1. Take its absolute value right here, and we get positive 1 as our final answer. Kind of a fun one. Let's go ahead and do another one. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and use, let's do the absolute value. Let's do parentheses first, actually. Let's do -6 minus -2 times 4 plus the absolute value of 8 minus, actually let's do plus -5. Okay, there we go. There's that problem. So again, according to PEMDAS, we're going to go ahead and do parentheses and absolute value first. And since this parentheses is the furthest most to the left, we're going to go ahead and do this set of parentheses first. And within the set of parentheses, I got a lovely little squinty face, so we want to get rid of that squinty face. So grumpy. Get rid of all that negativity and makes it positive. So we got -6 plus 2. Wrap that in parentheses still. And -6 plus 2 gives me -4. I'm going to bring down this times 4 and the adding sign, and let's go ahead and solve what's in this absolute value over here. So within this absolute value, we got a winky face that we want to deal with. Winky face, he's so happy, he gets so sad when he dies. So this becomes 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. And we take the absolute value of 3 from right here, and we get 3. So now, what are we going to do first? Well, according to PEMDAS, we did all of our parentheses / absolute values, so all of that's crossed off. We don't have any exponents, so now it's up to multiplication and division, and then adding and subtracting. We do have one set of multiplying, which is right here, so we're going to go ahead and do that first. -4 times 4 is -16. Bring down this plus 3 right here. We have -16 plus 3. Which gives me -13. And that is my final answer. Go ahead and try some of these problems by yourself.